Okay, so everybody, hello, welcome. This is my mom, Sue, aka Mama Kwon. Uh, she's an amazing Korean cook and other types of cook. She's made this dish probably a million times in her life. It's one that everyone seems to love. Every person who's new to Korean food, you make them japchae and they love it because it's got a lot of the kind of the American flavors that people like. Umami, it's got some sweetness, some saltiness, um, and yeah, full of vegetables. This dish is vegan. All you have to do to make it vegan is leave out the beef. So if you leave the beef out, it's a totally vegan dish. If you want to make it gluten free, you can use tamari instead of soy sauce, and that would make this dish gluten free. Yeah, so if you have any questions today, please either raise your hand, put a question in the Q&A or in the chat box, and I'll make sure to try to get them. If I forget, if my mom says something in Korean and it's not translated right away, oh, my other sister's here, and it's not translated right away, please raise your hand so I can make sure. This is my other sister, Shanae.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Sorry I can't join you guys, Mom and Jenny. We are driving back from the beach.
What about me? Oh, I chopped liver over here.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I forget. I'm sorry, John, for that. Sorry.
Yeah. See, if you like recognize some step that we're missing, feel free to chime in. See. So my mom has already said something in Korean and I didn't translate it. So if you have a big pot, go ahead and grab a big pot, fill it with water, and start boiling it because we're going to need to cook the noodles in a second. But for now, just put the pot on the stove, and yeah, we'll get that boiling, and then we're going to. Hey, see, I hope you're not driving. We're going to show you how to cut the vegetables and everything first, right? So I have all of my ingredients here on the countertop already. This is about how much spinach I'm using. Is this about right, 엄마? 이만큼 맞지?
이만큼 맞아? About that much? I think it's too much for the noodle. You have little noodle, so I can see.
I have 2 noodles.
Oh, yes, that's good.
Okay. So yeah, I just have, a handful of spinach that I cut in half. I've got kind of long ones. If you have baby spinach, a handful of baby spinach will do.
Onion now?
Yeah. So my mom just cut the tops off of the onion.
And the top and bottom off first.
Top and bottom off first.
And cut half. It's easy to peel, but if you just top and bottom, it just come up so easy. This is not work.
So she said, cut the top and the bottom off, peel it, or cut it in half, and then peel the outside skin off. And then we're gonna just cut these really. We're gonna cut them into nice little thin slivers. Ideally, with a dish like this, you want everything to be similar, width-wise, size-wise, so that everything cooks about the same time-wise. So yeah, my mom's using a whole onion, and I'm using a quarter of an onion because she's cooking a lot more than I am. I'm cooking about this much noodles. It's two things of noodles. If you bought those ones that from that Amazon link, that would be equivalent to about 4 of those little packs. So I think each of those packs is a. Yeah. So now my mom is just cutting these nice and thin. So you're getting these individual pieces about like this. Right. So yeah, go through the whole onion. Be careful, don't cut yourself. Once you get to the bottom end,
I'm doing used to good, but when you just take a picture, make me nervous.
My mom says she's nervous because she's on video. That's ridiculous. See. So yeah, I've got here, it looks like it's about a cup of onions cut. That's about how much I have. And then we're gonna put everything aside. We're gonna get all the veggies ready because this dish comes together really fast. Like once we start cooking it, it's like a super fast. Yes. I forgot to start the water, even though I told everyone to start the water. Oma, what's next? Carrots next. So my mom's skinning the carrots now. I've already done that. I cut the ends off, pulled the skin off. You don't have to if you scrub carrots really well. You don't have to remove the outside. My sister Shanae down there would probably be like, ew, gross if you ate the skin. But I like to keep it sometimes on.
Almost knives no better than mine.
And now my sister and my mom are talking about the efficiencies of their knives. My knives are very sharp. So I'll let my mom show you how she's going to cut these. She cuts them on a yeah, so she cuts them on a bias like this, and she goes about the same width as these onions, right? And the reason is she's able to, you know, get nice julienne carrots by cutting them at this bias. As you can see, it creates these nice thin coins that are kind of long. And then I think, Oma, how many carrots is that? 2?
I'm going to use 2 because
She's going to use 2.
I have a small.
She's got small carrots. My carrots are rather large, so I'm only using the 1. And again, this is going to
Use it. We use a lot of noodle. Maybe 2 better.
You know, it's Korean food is one of those things where if you go to a Korean restaurant and they don't have loaded full of vegetables, someone's going to complain about that. We complain a lot. So yeah, it's now what she's doing is then after she's cut it that way, now she's cutting them into little matchsticks like this, right? So she does it so much faster than me. If you'll see, she has them all like splayed out right here, and then she's just going down the line, cutting it. I don't have that level of skill yet, but you know, my mom taught me how to use a knife.
Oh, no wonder.
She cut her finger off already. Just kidding.
Better than mine. My knife is so dull. I thought I just sharpened before I come here.
So, how's everyone? Is everyone following along so far? Just you can text chat me if you're not. We can slow down. Just let us know. Looks like I get about 2 cups of carrots.
I'm so cooking, but this knife is terrible.
And Joe, how much onion did you use for the 2 packs of noodles?
I have about a cup. For me, it was so. This is I have this many. See, and I'm using a quarter of a large yellow onion.
Water boil, put the noodles.
When the water boils, put the noodles in. Yeah.
Minutes.
For a whole hour?
No, 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Yes.
Mom says when the water's boiling, boil the noodles for about 6 minutes. We're cutting everything first, right, Emma?
Oh, everything just cut julienne or what you call it? Strip?
Yeah, julienne.
She's boiling the noodle while she's prepping.
Yeah. So she's boiling the noodles boiling the water right now. And then once she's done with carrots, We'll do what? Red pepper next?
Oh,
Bell pepper next?
I'll show you how to cut.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have a question. Cocktails in hand. Enjoying every second. We love you guys so much. This is Nick Johnson.
Behind them.
Nick and Rochelle are here. See, they asked if they could invite themselves over to your house.
Come on over.
They can invite themselves over our house.
They said, of course you can come up and invite yourself over to your house.
cut the top off
You can cut the bottom.
and bottom
Cut.
off
Cut the top off.
and cut in half.
Cut the bottom off.
Deep,
Oh my God, mine fell into the salt. They're gonna be so salty now.
and then the white part.
And then remove just the red. Right?
And cut or yeah.
You don't want this bit. We don't want. Nice. 11-year-old as your sous chef. That's pretty good. Your line cook, 11-year-old. So then once you have them cut like that, you have these nice little squares, and you're gonna cut these into strips as well. And since you cut the top and bottom off, they're all the same length. So they're about the same length as the carrots, as you can see.
여러분 잘 조심하시네.
Oh my God.
한번 cut
How much bell pepper? The whole thing?
pepper.
Uh-huh.
Oh, whole pepper.
Same amount as carrots? See, you can chime in on that one.
Yeah, you all have like proportionate. Cut them on the carrots, the bell peppers, the mushroom, spinach.
Green pepper.
Like spinach once is closer.
You don't have spinach.
Spinach, are we gonna blanch the spinach, Amma?
Already did.
Okay. But do we have to?
Yeah, it's the first one.
So before you drop your noodles in the boiling water, or with the boiling noodles, just blanch your spinach real quick
Yes.
to get them, because we're going to be using those in the dish like that. So my
Stuck
I
to
mean,
it. Fresh
best
stuck
julienne carrots ever.
them off.
Oh yeah. So she's saying for the shiitakes, cut the stem off. I usually save the stems to make a soup stock later, but
When
you
you
don't have to.
don't throw it away. The stem is good for soup base.
That's what I just said. I have 5 shiitakes here. You can use more. You can alter this recipe for how you want it. If you like mushrooms, you can have a lot of mushrooms. But with the mushroom, same, right?
Uh-huh.
Nice thin strips.
Just same size as bell pepper and carrot and onion.
I wish you could see my mom's hands. We hold the knife the same way too. Jenny, what are you doing over there?
Cook the noodle.
She's cooking the noodles already? My water's not boiling yet. Those induction stoves boil water so fast.
She is cooking noodle.
Okay, well, my water just started boiling. Okay, so check it out. I'm gonna blanch my. I'm just gonna blanch my spinach real quick.
The spinach must be blanched.
We only gonna leave them in there for what? 20 seconds? 10 seconds?
So basically, once the water is boiling, you put the spinach in, and then you take them out.
Yeah.
Like let them like all kinds of stuff, and then take them out. But
Yeah.
they will still cook. They'll
Right.
warm.
Yeah, we're not gonna cold ice bath these, right? We're just gonna let them continue cooking.
And
I just pulled them out.
oh, and spinach is also same size cut. Same size as
Oh yeah, my mom's saying cut this once the spinach is cooled down. Cut the spinach the same size as your carrots and your, your veggies. We have a question.
Who has question?
What is blanch? Blanch just means drop in hot boiling water and pull it out, Brian. So I left it in there for 5 seconds maybe, just to wilt them down.
Some salt before the blanch. When you blanch, you just put some salt too. A little
Oh yeah,
bit.
she says you can put some salt in the water when you blanch, but I didn't do that.
First color.
Yeah.
Salt actually makes the spinach turn greener.
Yeah, it preserves the color of the vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this boils for 6 minutes.
Oh, you don't put the meat, Joe.
I'm not going to. I'm doing mine vegan.
You don't want me to put the meat?
No, I'm not gonna do the meat. I'll do mine vegan. I'm gonna do meat.
Okay, I have to cut the meat the same way.
Yeah. So my mom's gonna show you how to cut the meat now, and she's gonna cut the meat the same, like into strips, right? Same as our vegetables. I'm gonna use these wood ear mushrooms. They weren't on the ingredient list because I didn't know if these would be easy to find. They don't sell them at any grocery store. You'd have to get them at the Asian market. But yeah, this is what they look like. You've seen them growing on trees before, but you buy them at the Asian market. They have kind of a crunchy texture to them, and when you cook them, they hold their texture pretty well. But these you just rough cut. So we don't have to like cut those into julienne strips. We're just rough cutting those. And I've got, again, about a cup of those as well. It looks like I have about a cup of all the veggies,
No.
just based on
Oh, it's
eyeballing it. Yeah, so I've got all my veggies ready. I've got my bell peppers, my julienne carrots,
이거 쿠킹 와인
onions,
넣어가지고.
wood ear mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. See, how am I doing?
Fabulous.
Thanks.
Remove
What,
the
Oma?
wood top. Wood ear mushroom. When you clean the wood ear mushroom,
Uh-huh.
불리다는 물에다가
Uh-huh.
그다음에 wood ear mushroom에도 뿌리 쪽이 있어. 뿌리 root.
Okay, so my mom is saying if you get dried wood ear mushrooms, you rehydrate them, and then there's a root side that you'll cut off. You don't use that part. I was fortunate.
Little pot.
Yeah.
It can be dirt.
She's saying there can be dirt in it. So just remove that part that's dirty. I bought fresh wood ear mushrooms because my Asian market carried them. So I didn't have to do that. They were already destemmed and stuff. But again, you don't need to add them if you don't have them. Don't worry about it. This is also one of those dish where like people add different stuff. Ciao, Giancarlo. Hey kids. This is my brother-in-law, Giancarlo.
Oh,
Okay, Bella in the back, Avi and Ela in the backpack. The whole family's here. We got the whole family here. It's amazing. So my noodles are about 3 minutes in. I got 3 minutes. When we're done with the noodles, see, what do? Cool them down?
Yeah, so once the noodles are boiled for about 6 minutes, you want to take them out and then rinse them in cold water. They will keep cooking. And the last thing you want is overcooked noodles.
Right. So if you couldn't hear what she said you pull the noodles out, rinse them in cold water to stop them from cooking, so you don't have overly mushy noodles. It's about 6 minutes in the boiling water. Obviously, if you are at high elevation, that number goes up by a lot, and we don't actually know what that number is. I'm at sea level practically. So are they.
Also, Joe, for people who don't like to eat meat, I've also made japchae with chicken, and it's really good.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to add chicken to this, you can do chicken. The traditional recipe is beef. It's not vegan, right? The traditional recipe is not vegan. But I mean, it's so easy to turn this dish vegan.
That's it. I'm ready for all the ingredients.
I need to cut my spinach to length. So they're about, Looks like I just need to cut them into thirds. Yeah, look at that. Done. Oh my God. Why is so much stuff in
What
this?
colorful that is.
Yeah, it's so pretty. All the colors. Okay, okay.
Done? I think it's everything done.
Done?
In case of my needs of green onion.
I'm not putting green onions in mine because I don't have any.
Green
Oh, I
onion.
do. I do have some. I have some growing in the garden.
And now we're rinsing this in cold water.
Onion for garnish. They have onion.
Look how good these green onions are.
What kind of green onion? Is pepper? Leek?
No,
Leek?
no, just regular green onion I bought at the store, but I planted the roots when I cut them in the ground and they grew.
It grows so well.
California,
Oh yes, California has good soil and good
good sun.
sun. Not good water.
Not good water. It's a drought, yeah.
Very dry.
Mama, how do you cut the green onions?
Green onion, same way. Not much. I'm just for the coloring, half the color.
I don't see. I can't see what mom's doing. Oh, you can. She's doing these strips. So, oh my God, it keeps falling into my salt. This is what happens when I try to do everything on my cutting board.
That's it, not much. I'm put it in the beef. Very last. Okay, the beef. If you want it to, we don't want it to fix the beef one.
No, I'm not do the beef. Do the beef.
Yeah, if you want to put the beef, cut julienne, and then marinate it with ajimirin, sugar.
Oh, we didn't put ajimirin on the ingredient list, Mama.
Mine is not how many cup, how many spoon. Just mine is just a little.
So for those of you who are watching my mom marinate the beef, she's putting this Japanese cooking wine called mirin in. It's sweet. You can substitute sugar with a little bit of wine if you want, because ajimarin was not on the list. Or you don't even have to do that, and you can just marinate the beef in a little bit of salt and sugar.
Not much. I don't like
As you can see, my mom is not telling you how much she puts in. So good luck with that. That looked like, see, how much did that look like? Tablespoon?
no.
No, that looks like she used about a half a pound of meat.
Yeah.
So I would do like a tablespoon of soy sauce, tablespoon of sugar, and about a teaspoon of garlic.
So that was tablespoon of soy sauce,
Tablespoon of sugar,
tablespoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of garlic, or 1 clove of garlic about. And the green onions, again, they're just for garnish, so don't worry about it so much. They make the dish look pretty. So the way that she cut them, and again, Mama needs to slow down a little bit.
Okay.
She cuts them.
putting black pepper into the marinade.
Was it what?
Black pepper is really for the seasoning, so kind of very little, maybe a fourth teaspoon.
Yeah. So what my sister says, I don't know. It's hard to hear you. See, for some reason your audio is pretty bad. But see, my sister C was saying the black pepper is for the marinade of the beef, and you just put a little bit in for the flavor of that.
Garlic.
So it was about a teaspoon of black pepper. See.
Not teaspoon.
You're muted now.
I would say it's about a fourth.
Quarter teaspoon. Okay. Okay. So yeah, look. Oh, it's so pretty.
It's done.
So hold on one second, Mama.
Huh?
Hold on one second. As you can see, my noodles are they're just sitting there in some cold water right now. I just rinsed them off and sitting there. Jennifer, the marinade is mirin if you have mirin, but don't worry about it if you don't. A tablespoon of soy sauce, a teaspoon of garlic, a quarter teaspoon of black pepper,
and a tablespoon of sugar.
and a tablespoon of sugar. So equal parts soy sauce and sugar. A teaspoon of garlic.
Black pepper.
And yeah, a sprinkle of black pepper for the marinade on that beef. I'm not using beef, so I don't have to worry about it.
Sneezing.
Oh boy. You can add a little wine if you want, Sarah, or you could, if you don't have wine, you can just leave it as is. My mom likes to add some wine into it. She uses the mirin, which is also sweet. If you don't have the mirin, you can use wine with the sugar.
So if the noodles done, she just
So yeah, my mom is now going to show you what she does with the noodles. She actually takes them and she cuts them with scissors.
Because it is too long, it's hard to eat.
Scissors are the ultimate Korean cooking utensil.
This is correct. We use scissors for everything in Korean food. So she's just grabbing it like this and just like rough cutting, you know, handfuls of it at a time. It's not a science on this part. We're just trying to make bite-sized pieces if we can. So get some long bits here.
That's it.
So yeah, check out the texture of these noodles. They kind of look like they're translucent, transparent. Well, where am I going with my hand? It's hard to do this backwards. But yeah, they're nice and slippery and they've got a nice bounce to them. Next up.
Cooking now.
Cooking.
Next
So
time cooking.
I'm gonna move over to the stove. That's a terrible angle.
Cook onion first.
Okay. I'm gonna use a wok because I have one. A large frying pan will work.
Here's the oil.
Jimmy's using a little cast iron pot, but I have this, so I'm just gonna use it.
But when I'm cooking, I usually put a lot of garlic first. Put the oil and garlic and fry it a little and then put the main ingredients.
You don't have to put in garlic though. My mom did say that before while we were talking, chatting before, because garlic was not on the list. See? Whoops. If you don't have garlic, don't worry about it. I'm not using garlic. I'll just start with the onions. My mom's gonna start with the garlic. So she's taking about 3 tablespoons of oil.
No, just a little less than that.
2 tablespoons of oil. She's using just vegetable oil, right?
This is
Grapeseed oil.
grapeseed oil.
Grapeseed oil, vegetable oil, whatever you have on hand. I'm also using grapeseed oil because we don't really keep vegetable oil at the house. My stove won't light. I have a gas explosion here. There we go. So mom's putting in the garlic. She toasts the garlic just barely, no color on the garlic, and then she adds the onions first.
The salt. Salt, like just salt.
Over there next to the coffee maker.
Then she's saying she's going to add some salt.
Salt. No. Oh, this one.
Uh-oh. Simone needs to go out. Uh-oh.
안 올라갔네? 너무 약해. 볶을 때는 그립 빼야 돼. 샌드 빨리. 하이빗에서 fast fry 해야 돼. Every vegetable before juice come out. If you
What my mom is saying is you have to cook this on very high heat because what you don't want is water to be left in the pan because you want everything to be nice and crisp, which is what a wok is great for, right? Because it just the metal is so thin, it heats super fast and it evaporates the water really quickly. So now, what's next?
what's next? Next, just this one remove from here and it's cooked.
So she's gonna put it in this big bowl.
For the mixing, very large, you have to mix it all together.
Yeah, so she says, grab a big bowl if you have one. If you don't have one, use another big pot. Mine's cooking faster than hers. So I'm gonna pull the onion out.
Yeah. If it,
so after you just get those onions cooked, we're gonna pull them out and put them in a bowl. Everything's gonna go in this bowl because it's all gonna get mixed. So you can use the same bowl for it. I'm gonna reuse my oil because I put too much oil in. My mom's probably only put a little oil in so she could add more.
and next garlic, oh no, carrot.
Next up, carrots. I have to check on my dog. It doesn't matter if you get some red bell peppers in with your carrots and stuff like that. I have some leftover onions, whatever, it's fine. And we're only cooking these to they're still gonna have some texture to them. You don't want mushy vegetables on this dish. So cooking them just a couple minutes.
Very fast. My heat is so high.
And she's already pulled her carrots out. Mine are still going, but next up, what's next, Mom?
The mushroom.
Next up, mushrooms.
By the way, you don't have to cook all the vegetables in that order. You're just cooking all the vegetables and putting them aside.
Got it. So my my sister C just said, you don't have to cook them in this order. You're just cooking these vegetables and removing them to the heat, removing them from the heat afterwards. Come on, Simone. Come on, Towns. Hey, Simone. Come on. Oh, baby Simone with a cone on her head.
엄마는 참기름으로 볶아.
Okay, so my mom just said if you do happen to have wood ear mushrooms, or you want to try to make this dish with wood ear mushrooms next time, you use sesame seed oil to fry the wood ear mushrooms. And just a reminder, the mushrooms take up a lot of oil, so you might need to add more oil than the other vegetables because they do absorb a lot. So once they get a little color on them, you can pull them. I don't know if you could see mine. Can you see mine? That's a terrible camera angle, Joe. Wow,
이거
I'm
불어가지고
so bad at this.
엄마가
You would think by now.
이거 볶아야 되는데 이거 괜찮아? 이게 불어가지고.
So I am going with the sesame seed oil and the wood ear mushrooms.
You already finished shiitake?
Uh-huh.
You already
Mine's hot. My stove is very hot.
Oh, it's gas.
Yeah.
안 뜨거워? 그냥 어머. 한 손으로 들어? 나두 손으로 못 들어.
I'm gonna lower the heat. 7.
세븐? 됐어? 참기름으로. 이건 아니지.
My wood ear mushrooms are done. Next up,
Red pepper.
red bell peppers.
Just touch the heat.
They just touch the heat, my mom says. You don't need to cook them. They're just gonna get a little bit wilty.
Yeah. Yep.
Another like teaspoon of oil.
Oh dear, mushroom now. There's too many things. Oh dear, mushroom, I'm not put the soy sauce. I'm not put the salt. I'll put the soy sauce.
Right. What about the spinach?
You already finished it.
Do we have to cook the spinach?
What?
Spinach?
I still have no 시금치는 묻혀야 돼. With spinach, you don't need to cook, already cook. So
Yeah.
some salt, a little bit of salt, sesame oil, sesame seed. That's it.
Salt,
And-
sesame oil, sesame seeds. I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't think we put sesame seeds on that list either. But that's okay. If you don't have sesame seeds, those are really just for the visual aspect of it. What my mom just said is for the spinach, we're going to take a little bit of, we're going to take spinach in a bowl, put a pinch of salt in it, some sesame seed oil, and you're just going to marinate them in that. It's about a half a teaspoon of sesame oil. And then
I'm cooking beef. If you put the beef,
and my mom's cooking the beef now, if you're going to use beef, in the same pan again, hot pan. You can see my spinach is just sitting here in the marinade of the sesame seed oil. I'm not going to add the sesame seeds either, just because we forgot to put it on the list. So unprepared. So sorry, y'all. But yeah, that one's just like that. After you've sauteed all the vegetables, you can add some salt to them and toss things around a little bit. I'm just going to do maybe a teaspoon of salt for all of the vegetables that I just cooked. Oh, they smell so good. So yeah, I just like tossed my vegetables with a little bit of salt. They've got plenty of oil on them already. If you wanted to, see, could they add sesame seed oil to this right there?
Yes, they could.
Yeah, so you can add a little bit of sesame seed oil to those vegetables. The sesame seed oil is not used for cooking a lot of times because it's got such a low burning point. So you rarely will use sesame seed oil to cook. It's more used to flavor afterwards. And it's got a lot of flavor, especially if you get this like, I like this brand a lot just because it's the one I grew up eating. It's Kadoya toasted sesame seed oil. Not the sesame seed oil that you get at like the Whole Foods, which is not toasted. Those are just like pressed sesame seeds, and the flavor is way different on that oil. So when my mom's done with the beef, looks like she threw some green onions in with the beef.
Last.
Yeah, the very last thing she's cooking is the beef. I'm not going to do the beef. I'm just going to do mine vegan. I'm not going to put my green onions in. I'm just going to throw them on top later.
우린 넣어도 되냐? 아니 왜 비프는 제일 마지막에 넣으니까 넣고
You just-
싶으면 we're going to put.
Yeah. 잠깐만, 엄마 잠깐. They have a question. So Eileen, the sesame seeds, a tablespoon for this whole dish. So if you wanted to just throw in some sesame seeds at the end just to add some texture, that's really all that it's for. It adds a little bit of flavor when you get a bite of it, but it's not like a main thing. So you could even sprinkle sesame seeds on at the very end just to make it pop a little bit more. Tara, the beef cooked until it's cooked through. Because what happens is after these are all cooked, we're going to just assemble everything really quickly after we fry the noodles up. So yeah, the beef should be fully cooked. Okay, Mama, what's next?
하는 거야. Just mix together. But
What about the noodle?
I'm going to roast it. I mean, fry the noodle a little bit. Put some noodle oil.
What kind of oil?
Just any vegetable oil, any kind.
So right now, what she's she's marinating the spinach herself now. But what she was saying is this dish is almost done. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fry the noodles really quick, more or less just gonna warm them up with a little bit of oil.
I know.
We'll watch her do it before we do anything.
I got it, Mama. I got it. Mama, I got it.
So she just added the noodles to the hot pan.
Okay, and put some oil and put some soy sauce.
Oil about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce.
In the noodle, how many? Now we'll put like 2 tablespoons because you don't want to make it too salty.
Right. So that you are getting a lot of salt from the
Normal.
soy sauce. So make sure you go to taste on the soy sauce for this one. So does she already add the soy sauce or is that later? See.
Right now she's frying the noodle in some vegetable oil, so you can use canola, vegetables, avocado oil.
Right.
I wouldn't use olive oil because olive oil tends to have like really strong flavor.
Yeah. Right. So right now we're just frying up these noodles in a flavorless oil. So vegetable oil. Again, we're using grapeseed, and we're heating this through more or less. The noodles will clump, but if you add the oil to it, they'll separate. So you're just gonna mix it around until those noodles separate, and then we're gonna add the soy sauce, right?
Yes, a little bit. Because the noodle itself has no taste at all, so I put some soy taste. That's
So
why
the noodles don't have any flavor. So yeah, you're gonna add soy sauce to flavor the noodles. So you can see this is quite a lot of noodles.
I put a little bit. 장갑으로 장갑 끼고. And mix all together.
I'll get on my.
그러게.
I'm gonna put in my soy sauce, and I'm for these 2 packs. That looked like that was about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. It also adds color to the noodle.
So here's the most important utensil.
What is that?
Upside down.
Plastic gloves.
Oh,
That's right. My mom's saying the most important thing of this dish is having your mixing gloves ready. You don't have to use mixing gloves. Koreans love to use some mixing gloves. We have boxes of them. I've got boxes of them. My mom's got boxes of them. Yeah, once you're done with those, that's it. Now all it is mixing all of the stuff together. Oh, you know what? See, we forgot sugar.
Oh, sugar.
That's what tasting. So once you're mixing it, you're going to add a little bit of sugar. And you can add. I want to add more soy sauce.
let Annie talk.
So what my sister was saying is the sugar you're gonna add when you mix up all your vegetables, right? So I'm gonna move this over now so I'll show you how we do it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I got all my veggies here. Throw in the noodles. Throw in the spinach. Don't forget your spinach. And my mom is now adding soy sauce to taste. That's what she just added. So if it's not salty enough, you can add more soy sauce. So yeah, you can use tongs to mix this, but I'm a good Korean too, see. I've got my gloves.
Oh, you got plastic gloves too.
I got my scissors, I got my gloves. Yes, it is, Nick. You've been there before. It's a SS, or as I say.
너무 조금이다.
Let him eat black pepper.
Okay, so then what my mom is doing right now is seasoning with soy sauce as she needs, right? She's tasting sugar, and it can be, I'm using just raw cane turbinado sugar. And you could use just regular, white, what's it called? Granulated sugar. You can use maple syrup if you're trying to not to eat, refined sugar. Although maple syrup does have a flavor to it, but you might like that flavor.
So you don't want to put too much sugar. I would help with like a teaspoon. I know my mom, when she put it in, it looked like she's putting a lot, but she's making a big portion too.
Right. So it's really not that much sugar.
Hi. Oh, Oma wants the steps too.
I honestly, like, you'll see my mom does this too. That's like a tablespoon of sugar. And that's probably too much for this dish.
Yeah, that's not might be too much.
Although I do have a lot of noodles.
하는 건데?
Yeah, I'm only gonna add half of that. So as a half tablespoon of sugar. It's really just it adds a little bit of sweetness. And then black pepper is also to taste. So if you like black pepper to me in this dish really shines through a lot, and I love the flavor of it. There's something about soy sauce and sugar and black pepper. Those three together make a really delicious umami flavor. My mom's done. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of black pepper. Don't want to get my grinder dirty.
Oh, it smells fantastic.
Oh, good.
Larry approved. Once you add your stuff, just mix it together. Mine looks like it needs a little bit more soy sauce based on the color of it. So the color of the soy sauce really gets into the noodles. So that's it. That's the dish. And now I taste. More soy sauce.
What's my color?
Okay.
Joe, can you see the
Oh, yours looks good, Mama.
Oh. You okay?
color?
Mom's dying.
So you want to taste it, and if it's too bland, you can sprinkle some salt to make it more attractive.
Yeah, if you want to alter the salt level with salt, you can, or with soy sauce. Don't go too heavy on the soy sauce because then it turns way too soy sauce-y. You don't want to do that. So if it is not getting salty enough with the soy sauce, add a sprinkle of salt. With me on the veggies, when I added the salt, that was enough. So right now, I think mine's pretty perfect. And that's it. And then, you know,
That looks delicious.
looks delicious. Garnish with green onions. You can mix those in when you, at the very end, just loosely. It's to have a nice little bright crunch to it.
Larry, don't eat it all. We'll be home in an hour.
Ain't gonna last that long.
접시에다 담아야지.
That's it.
여기다 깨 조금 뿌리고
Well, it looks pretty good.
접시에 담아놓자. 다 끝났으니까.
Bravo,
I do,
my
see?
Joe, bravo.
Oh, grazie mille.
Thanks, Mama Kwon.
So
That's
does
terrific.
anyone have any questions? Anyone out there? Did you follow along mostly?
디너야 이거 디너. 우리 our dinner today.
So I made way too much for just Emily and me. Yikes. I should have stuck with one.
That's my problem.
Oh, good, Tara. I'm glad it looks delicious.
I never.
Please.
How many spoon? How many cup?
I told you my mom doesn't know how much to add. Mama, happy Mother's Day. See, Ginny, happy Mother's Day. I hope that you guys have a great day with
Oh,
everyone.
thank you, thank you.
Yes, I'm not a chef.
Mother's Day.
I'm just cooking for the family.
This is how we grew up, but you know, obviously I was in the kitchen as well, and
You
And
grew up with a
now-
white running
yeah, I
around.
grew up with a white man around.
Yeah, that's
Eating
very
all
kind, Joe.
That's my brother-in-law, Larry. You met him earlier. Oh my God, this looks so good. It smells perfect.
Yep.
Oh, good, Eileen. I'm so glad it's delicious.
I lucked out and married into the right family.
Yeah, yeah. Emily says so too.
What is made
Emily said that I married into the right family.
Yeah. Sarah, the spinach and the beef, it can honestly be added whenever. It's all just getting mixed together, so it's not like there's an order to it. So don't worry about that so much. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Deke, hopefully Tiff is there as well. I'm hoping that you both like this. Yeah, that's it. That's like one of the most simple Korean food dishes, right? Is that one of the more simple ones, Deke? She froze.
Frozen.
Yeah.
How did
I didn't hear what you said.
vermicelli noodles? How did that turn out?
Oh yeah, Eileen, how did it turn out with those noodles? Oh, she said, mine is delicious. Noodles are good. Cool.
It's a nice variation.
Yeah, that is. Well, thank you, Mama.
You're welcome. Enjoy
Love you
it.
so much. See, Ginny, love you guys so much. Happy Mother's Day. Have a good time with everybody. Everyone who joined in. Thanks.
It's
Bye.
my day.
Take care.
Bye, y'all. Happy Mother's
Day.
Day to everyone. Bye.
That's
So
it.
easy.
Oh, wait. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. See you, Ginny.
Okay,
Don't
don't
leave
leave
yet. I forgot that we were gonna do a Q&A. If anyone has any questions for my sisters or my mom, feel free to ask. Type it in the Q&A box.
Oh. I cannot see it.
That's okay.
Chile, I cannot see it.
Oh, let's see.
Do you know some?
No, that's Larry's email.
Oh,
Okay, here we go. Q&A. Can you tell us an embarrassing story about Joe from Nick Johnson? You don't. There are none. I'm perfect.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
An embarrassing story about Joe. There's so many, and then yet when you ask us to name
You
one,
know, right? If you're put on the spot to like come up with one, it's hard, but there are so many.
Nick was my plant.
oh,
Oh, some of them we probably shouldn't tell on the video.
Oh yeah. What's the Avit's favorite dish for you to cook?
I
Oh,
cannot see it at all. Even my hand.
oh God,
Fish
definitely
noodles.
my sister or my brother. Definitely Joe or C. I am the
that's not true. Ginny's always come up with the most unique flavor combinations.
it's one of those, it's delicious if you're starving.
They're always delicious. My favorite thing to cook for the Avits, you know, their diets changed a lot through the years, so I couldn't tell you right now. I've made them a lot of like California style dishes because we were cooking through the Malibu Farms cookbook the last time we were recording. So that was fun to like branch out and do like more California style fresh vegetables and stuff. And it seems to be a big hit. Anyone else? If not, we will conclude. Thank you everyone so much for being here. This was so fun. Let's do it again.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank
Bye
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon, C.
Oh, make sure to post a picture of your food, everyone out there who's watching. I want to tag me or CARV. I'd love to see it. Right.